Receive many letters and visits from troubled youngsters. One of the more common complaints goes something like this. The trouble with my parents is they have to have a hand in everything I do. They're not happy unless they can control me completely. Don't they realize I have a mind of my own? Why don't they just let me use it? Then I get the parents' version, and it sounds almost like an echo. That child has gotten completely out of hand. There's no controlling him anymore. Talk about a mind of his own. All right, let's talk about that mind of his own. Speaking as a parent myself, I think that having a child with a mind of its own is a pretty good thing to have. The fact is, we give life to our children, and at some point they are going to want to do as they please with our gift. But after all, you say, he is my child, my own flesh and blood. So far, so true. But his soul, his spirit, is his own. That's what makes him an individual with his own creative drives and personal hungers. It would be a mighty boring and backward world if all children turned out to be just carbon copies of their parents. It is a very difficult thing for a parent to know at what point to start easing up on his child's supervision and control. We can't hold on to his hand all the way to adulthood. From infancy on, the youngster's rearing has been riddled with do's and don'ts. But when they get older, they see that there can be different degrees of permissiveness. Some of their contemporaries have been brought up with sets of do's and don'ts that are strangely different and therefore more interesting than the ones they have been taught to respect. Now our young individual starts chomping at the bit. He is anxious to throw off the family yoke and be free to use that mind of his own. How does one deal with the inevitable? Some of our misguided youngsters today find themselves in quite a mess. But how about all the fortunate ones living happy and fruitful lives with their parents? Don't go thinking these parents are just lucky. They've worked hard for their peace of mind and that of their children. They have been wise enough to recognize the restlessness of youth, and they have provided wholesome and interesting outlets for it. They learned how to give just the right amount of leeway to their child's individuality and need for self-expression, not allowing him to run rampant, yet not suffocating either. Remember, the happy man is he who is master of himself. If you want your boy to grow into a happy man, just show him the way. Try not to stand in his way every time he wants to exercise that mind of his own. Without exercise, that mind will not grow.